love I asks if you're ready, and he doesn't really get the answer, and boom.
Nope. Nope. He just goes right in.
Just goes right into
He's
it.
like, it's 11 o'clock, boys. I don't care if you're ready or not.
It's time.
I thought
It's also time. They're going, how come you guys have unmuted over this? Come on. I wish that wasn't the thing.
Hey, today, let the song run out. Just let it run out.
Let it go.
We can talk over it.
We can talk over it.
What?
Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
Always unpredictable.
Always, we threw him a curve.
Yeah, I just didn't play when I could.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And I can't just let it play out because
Sure you can.
that happened.
That's fine. That's cool. That's cool. Just keep talking, people. That's why they're
Right, but
they're
our audio and this audio is better. You can't just
I know, but even what we're doing right now is better than what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it organic.
Well,
I know,
we need to
but if you listen to it just on audio alone, it doesn't work.
What do you mean? Oh, you don't hear
Because
us
that
well?
audio level is at the same level as our mics.
Exactly. So
they muddle each other way too bad.
Send me the audio file of that, and I'll put it through DaVinci. Right? It's what, 2 minutes long? I know it's 2 minutes long, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
At about 30 seconds in, I will have its audio just automatically go down to about a 10,
I can do that
10
too.
or 20. Okay, that's all you got to do is take it down to 10
Yeah.
or 20%, and then you don't have that issue.
All right.
I'm gonna put up a pool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put up a pool in the Facebook group, and people can buy squares like it's Super Bowl
There
Sunday.
you go.
To see
if it happens.
when will
or not.
this when will this get done?
You don't know. I should leave it for Chad because he has yet to turn in his homework. So let's see if he actually
Oh,
does it.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Chad?
All
Get on
season.
that.
All season, Caldo
Yeah.
Wad has just been completely screwing up
Caldo.
his.
Caldo
Yeah.
Wad is though he's a wad of something.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Well, I was on the
That's how it
road.
starts. Mom and dad are fighting.
Yeah,
That's right.
We woke up and chose violence.
yeah. No, I mean, I was on the
Lord.
road all week. I had a long week. I didn't
Mhm.
really have the best stuff with me to really be able to. I could have just done it in the car, like sometimes we see. But yeah, I just
You know what that is? Do you see that?
world's smallest
That's-
violin.
Playing just for you, buddy.
Thank you.
It's not a violin. It's the little Spock harp.
Oh Lord, the Spock harp.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Oh boy.
Alrighty then.
It's
Been another week. Here we are. It's Trekcast, the galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast. I'm Chad. That's Dan. That's Daniel. Even though the names don't come out right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Uton 2. I don't know what Uton 2. What is that? The planet he goes to? That Pike goes to, or what?
No, I used that that name generator that I sent you guys,
Oh,
and I got Uton 2.
okay.
I thought it was
Mine.
funny.
I've been using this for years. I probably told this story before, but when I wanted an unlisted phone number but didn't want to pay for it, I listed it in my quote unquote roommate's name, which was this. So you know, back when the phone book was a thing, you could look up Land Dumbrado
Yeah,
and find him in the. I still get mail for him every now and then.
that's like when I signed up for all those free CDs from
Yep.
Clearinghouse and I put it under the dog's
CDW or
name.
whatever it was, not CDW.
Columbia House.
Yeah,
Columbia
yeah.
House. Or
I put it under the dog's name.
was there
Yeah.
one that started with a B as well? Like
BMG.
BMG, I think.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did that for a while, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
first time I got a bill or got stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm stupid.
Oh yeah, no, we put it under the dog's name.
Yeah.
You build a dog.
Yeah.
You're right.
Boy.
There you go.
Oh well.
Yeah. My dog committed a federal felony fraud.
Yeah. Mail fraud.
Mail fraud.
Awesome.
Yep. Anyways, back to committing crimes. Let's go to news.
Star Trek news.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of news stories in the past few hours or past few days for
Yeah.
Star Trek. The big one that is making the rounds is Prodigy has been officially canceled and will be removed from Paramount Plus pretty soon. Looking like at the end of the month. So
They're
in
just
like
going
a
to take
week.
it off.
That
Huh?
part doesn't make sense to me. Why take it off?
Why it's being removed?
Yeah, they're saying that it's for like tax write-off purposes.
Yeah, because then they don't have to
or
pay
whatever.
residuals. Yeah, it's dumb.
That just seems like a dick move.
Yeah,
It's okay, you're canceling the show, but it's still part of your flagship franchise.
mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Chaz says remove Discovery.
Yeah, please.
Well,
Please.
what's funny is
Think about how much of a tax write-off that would be.
Think
To
about the
just
children.
remove 5 seasons of Discovery. They don't want to
remember
pay
just-
taxes for like 3 years.
Yeah.
like not even 6 months ago they were touting that finally Paramount was the home of all the Star Trek. They had all
Yeah.
the movies, they had all the
Yeah.
series for like a month
Yeah.
and a half, and then they like sent the movies to HBO.
Yeah.
But still, there was a shining month and a half.
God,
Where it was all
it's such a
there.
mess.
Yeah.
It's such a mess.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not difficult either.
Well, I
just
mean,
keep
this
it
is
all
part
in
of what
one.
they're striking for right now, is the fact that they have to pay them residuals and they're not paying them much. So now the studios are just like, forget it, we're not going to pay you at all. I mean, HBO is currently doing a thing right now where they're not even listing their directors as directors, so that way they don't technically have to pay them as much at the current levels, and they're listing them as creatives, which is a different classification.
Everyone, it's getting ridiculous. Everyone is cutting corners
Mhm.
to save money. It doesn't matter if you're running a streaming service, if you're making a movie, or designing a submarine.
Mhm.
Everyone
Exactly.
is cutting corners, and it's
Yeah.
disastrous.
Yeah, and just like that sub, it's not going to end well. Like,
Oh,
who are you
God.
going to send these who are you going to sell the streaming services to? If everybody's cutting corners, who are you going to buy? Who's
Yeah.
going to buy them?
Yeah. I don't know. I've
Yeah.
had enough. I'm ready to cancel a bunch of them because
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
There is a change.org petition, because that's what we do on the internet, going right now. Save Star Trek Prodigy. Right now, it's just shy of 9,200 signatures right now. To give you an idea, the Make Star Trek Legacy show has over 60,000 signatures.
yeah,
So that
Nobody
Put a
cares
fork-
about- nobody cares.
put a
about
fork in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody cares
Well,
about Prodigy.
according to Scott, it's our fault.
that's right.
This is our doing.
Yes, because we did not watch it.
We didn't watch it. We didn't plug it enough. It's our fault. The
Yeah.
blame falls squarely at our feet.
So
Sorry, buddy.
apparently they have shot it's animation.
Yeah.
And recorded season 2. They
Mm-hmm.
still plan on finishing it, like doing all the post work, and then they're going to shop it around to other streaming services so that streamer would get exclusive rights to season 2 to air it for the first time.
How does that work though? How does that work? How does Paramount, we're canceling the show, but we're gonna finish it,
Mhm.
but we're not gonna air it. We're gonna sell it to someone else to air it. How
Yeah.
does that make any sense?
Well, they've already invested X amount of dollars in
They're so
completing it,
close.
so you might as well just complete it. They're not going to put it on their own service because then they don't have to pay those residuals like we talked about. It's also a tax write-off, but then they
Mhm.
can pick up a little bit of extra money by letting somebody else actually stream it and air it.
Because
Then
it was
what's
supposed
the
to be
point?
released
If
this
they
Then
air
what's
it
the point?
themselves, if they air it themselves, then they don't make any that extra revenue off of it, and they pay.
Then what's the
residuals.
point of having your own streaming service? Then just
Right.
sell your content to others.
Well,
and stop with the nonsense.
I mean, that's what Sony's
and that's
doing,
where
right?
it's
Sony
going.
doesn't have
Yeah.
a streaming service.
Yeah.
Sony
Yeah.
is exclusively just selling it out to anyone who will do. And then remember when we did a recap on Paramount's stock investor call just a few
Yeah.
months ago, I had talked about how some analysts were saying this is the move Paramount should do, because right now they're just basically fighting for 4th or 5th place among
Yeah.
the streamers. They should just get rid of Paramount Plus and just sell to whoever will buy. So, I mean,
yeah, I don't know who's going to buy Prodigy, though. I mean, for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah. So, but we do have some good news.
Okay.
This is coming from fansided.com, and Star Trek Deep Space Nine audiobook is coming around the corner. Should be released in August 1st, and it will be narrated none other by Andrew Robinson, aka Elam Garrick. So the book he wrote, A Simple Tailor, what is it, Stitch in Time? His book that he wrote years ago.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that was years ago.
Yeah.
That he wrote that.
Yeah, well, he's finally getting around to doing the audiobook. So I'm sure that will be the talk of STL. Have you listened to it yet? So
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I mean, I'll probably get it and listen to it on the plane. So
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, just listening to something that'd be good.
yeah. I mean, doing it in the Garrick voice, that'll be great.
Yeah.
So, and then our last news story, because I think this week has been very weird with fake coups and fake subs. You know, we need a
fake
palate
coups.
cleanser.
Fake coups.
Well, I mean, they just
God.
gave up pretty quick. Anyway,
Oh my God.
we need
World War
palate
III.
cleanser, something
World War
nice.
III is coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
It's coming.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Fake coups? What do you mean? I know about the sub, but what do you mean by fake coup?
Oh, there was stuff in Russia.
Yeah. They had to recall Russian troops from Ukraine to protect Moscow from
their militia.
Yeah.
Their
Basically.
yeah.
And then in the end they were like they negotiated.
Our bad, we're not doing this.
Yeah, well, they negotiated and he backed down, and now he's going to go live in Belarus. And they're like, we'll give you a mansion in Belarus if you stop trying to overthrow Russia. And he was
Why
like,
does this
all right,
mansion
cool.
only have a 1-month lease? Oh, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. Just drink this Kool-Aid.
Exactly. What is that guy thinking?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, if that deal doesn't come with a like a food taster, then I'm not interested.
Exactly. So anyways, so something fun, something nice. Last week we had reported that we had some news from Giant Freaking Robot, but now we have the truth from Variety, and we have the cast for Paddington 3. Paddington is
God,
through.
just stop. Let this joke die, please. Just let this joke die.
I mean, we can preview the AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
Oh Lord.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No. There was
Okay,
something
anyway.
we were supposed to do on last week's show and just didn't. And now I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I know.
We talked about
what
it.
is.
What was it?
Because I thought about it like 20 minutes after I walked away from the computer, and it's the
Yeah.
voicemail from Tim Morris from across the pond.
No, there was something else too. I mean, we should definitely play that too.
Yeah.
But there was something else we were supposed to talk about. We're like, yeah, we'll talk about that later. And
Oh,
then
you
we
guys are going
just
to talk about the Flash.
Yeah, we talked about the Flash.
Yeah. So you did that.
didn't. No, there was something else.
I did hear a
I don't
very
know.
nerdy question that I could bring up to you guys if you want.
Sure, go for it.
Sure, I love nerdy questions.
All right, this is not Star Trek related, but people can comment too in the group. But so here's the question: Batman is either committing insurance fraud, or he's driving around the Batmobile without insurance to protect his secret identity. Which is it?
Oh, he's driving it around without insurance.
Yeah, he's driving it without insurance, but I mean, he's essentially self-insured because Bruce Wayne's just writing checks left and right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
His body is writing checks it can cash.
Well,
There you
it's
go.
not insurance fraud. He's just driving an uninsured motor vehicle.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
There's nothing illegal.
write
about
him
that.
a ticket.
Pay for it. Yeah.
Well, no, it is illegal.
It is illegal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is illegal. He's also driving an unregistered motor vehicle.
Right. There's no
Wait,
license
Wait,
plate
Chad,
on
do
it.
you have a driver's
It's
license? Or are you
also-
traveling?
I'm just traveling. I don't know. I just go places.
That's right.
Doesn't
He also
matter.
doesn't have a valid inspection on the
That's true.
on the vehicle.
No,
Well,
no.
some states
Because
you don't need that.
Arthur is a is a licensed inspector probably.
Well,
Who the hell is Arthur?
I don't know. I said Arthur, and I'm like, that's not Arthur. It's not Arthur.
are you talking about Alfred?
Alfred, yes. The other one.
Arthur.
I don't know where I came up with Arthur. I said it, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get shit for that.
Oh man, and Commissioner Grubin.
That's right.
Commissioner Grubin, who sings in every scene he's in.
That's Grobin,
Oh, that one, yeah.
dummy.
Commissioner Josh Groban.
That's it.
Arthur Nickleworth. I love it. Put that up.
Arthur Nichols.
Put that up. Arthur Nickleworth.
He's my favorite.
God. Oh man.
Oh Lord.
All right.
Sorry. Not sorry.
That's okay.
I don't care.
Let's get to the main topic.
All right.
Yeah,
go for
please.
it.
Fun will now commence.
I read the recap. We don't have it.
What we don't what?
The log line from Paramount.
Yeah, they forgot.
Yeah. So
Just as much as I
people don't know
forgot
what we're
someone's
talking about.
names.
So I go to the official Paramount public relations website every show to read the official Paramount log line.
Yeah.
2 sentences what the show's about. They didn't update it this week at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Strange New Worlds. They just do not care.
Well, they don't want to pay their writer to type that up.
Yeah.
There's a strike right now, so they couldn't do that.
They've given up.
They have given up, baby.
Nah, so this is the Pike Attorney at Law episode.
That's right.
Or he wasn't really the attorney, but I mean,
Star Trek SVU or whatever it was.
yeah,
God.
yeah. Boston Legal. There is an episode of Boston Legal where Shatner meets 7 of 9, and so you've got Jerry Ryan, Shatner, and Renee Auberjonois, whatever, in the same room all at the same time, and both of the guys are staring at her breasts. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's an awesome scene. And she just rips Shatner apart. It's great. Anyway, so it is definitely a trial episode. Pavel says it's a budget-saving episode. I don't know about that. We had to get the Una thing out of the way.
Oh, it's definitely a budget-saving episode.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
if
100%.
I could tell you what was not in the budget, a legal advisor. Like zero lawyers looked at this script before they filmed this turd. Yeah.
I will say
I got a list.
I did look up why they did not have Pike in the first episode, and the producers have said that it is because that's when they had the baby, so he was off being with his wife and child, so that's why he wasn't there. I would say they don't shoot things in order all the time, so you could have just changed up the way you shot things, and he could have been in that episode. So I say nay, but whatever.
Play the Whip It Nene song.
That's right.
I did like this. Okay, there's several things about this episode that I actually enjoyed, and this was interesting because it's not very often that we see any crew of any ship go down to a planet and have to struggle on that planet, right? We just don't see that very often, wearing the mask for oxygen.
Because if it's not an M-class planet, they keep driving.
That's right.
True, but I mean, there's outliers to that. Clearly, there has to be. So there's just not
this
that
was
many.
good.
Yeah, so I thought
was
that was
interesting.
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was great. I loved how he just called their bluff, sitting there about ready to pass out until he got what he wanted. I thought that was awesome as well. I don't get I do and I don't get the animosity of this lady here, the attorney. I get it, but I don't. The Lyrians are supposed to be smart. They're supposed to be genetically modified, and be strong or whatever. But I guess
because what else are you going to do for her? Like, hey, you want to be her lawyer? Sure.
No, she's upset because Una went and hid with the non-Illyrians on the planet. She didn't go to the Illyrian side of the planet,
right?
Because she can pass. Quote, I'm doing air quotes. She can pass for non-modified, and then to top it off, she went and joined Starfleet. So she joined the oppressive regime. That's why she's pissed off.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it just 20 years ago, 30 years ago, however long it was, right? I mean, whatever. Hold a grudge.
Yeah.
I didn't understand this whole thing, the whole episode, the major thing, there's a couple of major things, but the major thing I didn't understand was why Leon is even allowed in a uniform with the level of which they're going through in terms of this genetic augmentation. She's the daughter of Noonien Singh. Or descendant, I guess, whatever. She's clearly got enhanced strength.
Mm-hmm.
This is just totally not even thought of or any, it just totally skipped over.
Because I brought this up a couple times. And I guess it's because she's not genetically modified. She's the descendant of genetically modified people. So I guess if you want,
is so diluted after being a few generations removed.
but if you want to, Star Trek is all about allegories.
Right.
Okay. You sneak into this country, without going through proper channels.
Mm-hmm.
You're an illegal alien. You have broken the law.
Mm-hmm.
You have a child here. That child is a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what mom and dad did. That child is a U.S. citizen. So I think it's the same in that someone before her in her lineage was genetically modified, but she is a human being and she was born a human being. So you can't hold that against her. No,
I mean, I could see that analogy. I think, they purposely have left it vague enough.
Yeah.
Because they don't, it's either they're going to explain it later in the season or they haven't decided what they're going to do with it yet.
I would probably go with the latter.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I think too.
They don't know, because
Well,
even like this episode, I feel like the cliffhanger last season, they wrote themselves into a corner, and this is how they got out of it, and it just wasn't good.
We
It
did
wasn't a
say
good
that.
job.
We did say that, or at least I think Dan and I agree, or Lan Dombardo and I agreed on this, that they would get rid of the problem with Una in the first half of the season rather quickly, as opposed to letting it go on the entire season.
Yeah, we had in the projections whether it be over in one episode.
Right.
Yeah.
So technically it was 2, but still.
Yeah, pretty quick, pretty early.
Pretty quick.
Ajik in the chat asks, why was Battelle the JAG officer? Isn't she the captain of the Cayuga, lawyer and ship captain?
Oh, that's on my list.
Yeah.
That's on my list of ridiculous things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know in the past we have had high-ranking Starfleet officers act as attorneys, but usually it was because we are out there somewhere and we have a limited pool of personnel to choose from.
Yeah.
So the high-ranking officers can act in this capacity. They're literally on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
There's no competent lawyer that they can bring in to prosecute this case. They're going to use a starship captain.
Right.
I love what
Makes no sense.
Ty 1226 just said. This show needs more Strange New Worlds.
That's what I said in my quick reaction. Where's the exploring in the Explorer show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got it in the first episode, whether you like that one or not. You didn't get it in the second episode because they had to do something with Una.
Was that really exploring, or was that just traveling to a demilitarized zone?
Yeah.
That's
It's a new
not
world.
exploring.
It's a new world we haven't seen before. I'm talking about from the perspective of the viewer. It's a new world we haven't seen before. So
So I follow a guy on YouTube. I think he's called Legal Eagle.
Yeah.
And I've probably talked about him before. Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of his videos are the title is like Real Lawyer Reacts to Such and Such. And in the beginning, it was him reacting to different TV shows or movies.
Mm-hmm.
The very first one I watched was Real Lawyer Reacts to My Cousin Vinny. And surprisingly, you would not think so, but surprisingly, that movie is about 99% legally accurate. The things that happen in the courtroom in that movie are spot on.
Mm-hmm.
This episode of Star Trek is the complete opposite, and I have my list. And if you guys want to
Go
hear
for
it,
it.
I'll go through my list.
That guy's done a few Star Trek episodes too.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
done a
have
few
to-
legal, like Real
I'll have
Lawyer
to check
reacting
back.
to Star Trek. Yeah.
So in the beginning, Una's offered a plea bargain, and she rejects it. Rejects what? They hadn't charged her with a crime yet.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads into the fact that she's been locked up for 2 months, and they haven't charged her with the crime yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
bad.
So, all right, she's been locked up for 2 months. And then we see her arraignment, or at least that's what the admiral calls it.
Yeah.
Okay. An arraignment is where you're informed of what the charges are, and you enter a plea, and they set bail. And legal counsel's assigned.
Yeah, and you brought out the tuts there.
Okay, so that means Una was in jail for 2 months without ever being charged with a crime. Federation law has always mirrored the U.S. justice system. They call their civil rights guarantees. We've heard that before, like, oh, I'm gonna exercise the fifth guarantee or whatever. So I'm fairly certain that Federation citizens have due process rights, including the right to a speedy and public trial. Or the writers don't actually know what an arraignment is. That's just a word that they used. That's likely the case because we then see the arraignment. The admiral refers to the next hearing as the arraignment.
Mm-hmm.
And then they move to amend the charges. But again, they haven't charged her with anything. So how can you amend something that you haven't charged her with?
Is it that they haven't charged her, or we just didn't see them charge her?
If they're having an arraignment, they haven't charged her.
Right.
Well,
'cause
they're
that's what
having.
arraignment is. You're being charged.
Yes. You are arrested, then you are arraigned in front of a magistrate, which is a judge telling you what you're being charged with,
Mm-hmm.
asking you how you plea to those charges,
Yeah.
and then asking you if you have an attorney, and if you don't, they assign you one,
Mm-hmm.
and then setting bail to decide, or saying that they're not going to set bail and remanding you to the custody of, whatever.
Right.
Okay, that's an arraignment. That happens after arrest. She was arrested and just sat in a room for 2 months. And then they called this hearing an arraignment, but didn't do any of the things that you do at an arraignment. And then the trial starts, and the first thing they do is ask her how she pleads to the charges. They don't do that at a trial. They do that at an arraignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, they could have just handed the script to like any attorney in the world, and they would have said, "This is all wrong. You gotta change this." Why is Patel acting as a prosecutor? Yeah, that made no sense. Okay, the whole asylum thing just doesn't make any sense at all. Asylum is when you ask one government or group to protect you from another government or group that is persecuting you. She wasn't fleeing persecution by Starfleet. She was living her best life in Starfleet.
Yeah.
Right. And she didn't ask for asylum when she got arrested.
No, that was nonsense. That
Yeah.
was some made up shit that the lawyer came up with at the end.
Right.
And if you're seeking asylum, you can't seek asylum from the same organization that's persecuting you. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
A North Korean citizen cannot ask the North Korean government to protect them from the North Korean government because they're being persecuted by the North Korean government. It makes no sense whatsoever. Okay. So then her lawyer asks Lon, says, "I'll need access to the Starfleet Uniform Code of Justice." This is an obvious reference to the United States Uniform Code of Military Justice, which is the law for the military.
I am the law.
She's an attorney and she doesn't have access to that on her own. I mean, the
Not in her
UCMJ. What's that?
It's not in her database.
You could Google the UCMJ
No, I know.
on your phone right now. It makes no
Yeah.
sense. It was one of those things where, we want to say this legal sounding phrase in the show. So we're going to have her ask for this thing that she likely already has access to.
So, okay, real quick, Pavel's bringing up, they didn't think this through, and being only this far into the season, it's not a good sign. I will say this. It's not that. It's that when things are not interesting, then we tend to pick it apart, and that's not the good sign, I would say. Because if this was a fun, interesting show, we'd gloss over a lot of this.
Yes, exactly. So Lon references a case, Starfleet versus Wick, as an example of fruit of the poisonous tree, which is a legal doctrine that is hundreds of years old at this point, that basically says illegally obtained evidence is not admissible in court. If the tree is poison, the fruit that you get from the tree is also poison. Okay.
Mhm.
Why is she referencing this case from this legal doctrine that is hundreds of years old? She's a military police officer. She is a police officer having a conversation with an attorney. They both know what fruit of the poisonous tree means. Why is she explaining it and citing a legal case?
So that the viewer knows.
But it still makes no sense. I know there's
Yeah,
okay.
I don't see what the relevance
So
of it is.
She
Considering
could
there is no.
have very well said, I have reason to believe that the evidence against Una was obtained illegally.
But it wasn't. But it wasn't.
It doesn't matter. But that's the conversation they were having.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
She
the
could've-
legal argument.
Yeah. And then after a long talk about fruit of the poisonous tree, Lon tries to order Uhura to illegally obtain evidence that she can
Mhm.
use to exonerate.
Yeah. That was a stupid scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That made no sense.
Okay. At the trial, they ask Una if she consents to Patel as the prosecuting officer. Since when does an accused criminal have a say over who prosecutes them? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Right.
Just, some of the when they have them quoting the law, it's just like, that's not how that would be written.
Mhm.
General Order 1, also known as the Prime Directive, says, quote, and I turned on the closed captioning, no starship shall interfere with the normal development of any alien life or society. A starship is an inanimate object.
Mhm.
Shouldn't it instead say no Starfleet officer shall interfere with the normal development of any alien
Yes.
life or society? And then I have to ask, does the Prime Directive only apply to Starfleet officers or to Federation citizens? Because Worf's brother was not a Starfleet officer, Sergei, and he interviewed in the development of those people.
Yeah, they went walking around the holodeck caves.
Yep, and it was a big deal. It was like, oh, you violated the Prime Directive. Well, does it apply to him? He's not a Starfleet. He's not a starship.
He's
Right.
not a
But
starship.
he's not a starship, but he's also not a Starfleet officer.
We can go
Yeah.
down there. We just can't take the ship.
When Una's lawyer is questioning April, Patel objects multiple times, and the judges just don't react to it.
Yeah.
Something happens, you object, you state your grounds for the objection, and then the judge rules on your objection. She was just yelling objection, and they weren't addressing it. And that's the other thing. She was just yelling objection. That doesn't work either. You have to state why this is improper.
Objection.
I don't like the question that she's asking.
That's
Objection.
right.
Yeah.
This
All
makes
right,
me look bad.
Yeah, that's a mean question. Don't ask that. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And then after April's testimony, one of the admirals stands up and chastises her for attacking a Starfleet officer on the stand, and then he just unilaterally decides his entire testimony will be stricken from the record. Everything?
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything
That was an
gone
odd
right out
scene.
of the record.
That was an
Yeah.
odd scene.
The defense, quote, the defense calls to the stand 3 expert character witnesses. You call witnesses one at a time. You don't call 3 witnesses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She could state that she plans to call 3 witnesses and then call the first of her witnesses, but you don't call 3 people to the stand. Also, there's 2 things. There's an expert witness and there's a character witness. There's no such thing as an expert character witness. An expert witness testifies on subjects that they are an expert in. A character witness testifies that, hey, Chad's a good guy. I've known him since junior high school. It's
Yes,
two totally different things.
But Lan, what you're not understanding is they needed to have that segment stretch out longer to fill the 53 minutes or 43 minutes of airtime, and so that expert character witness sounds better. That's it.
No, it sounds wrong.
I know it
doesn't
does.
make
I'm
any
just saying,
sense.
and there apparently there's no writers, legal advisors in Hollywood anymore from the strike. I don't know. They screwed this up so bad.
I got a few more things. I'm almost done.
Keep going.
Yeah, Una
I
turned
can just
herself
picture
in.
the producers being like, "We need a lawyer to advise on this. Who are you going to get? A space lawyer? No, just keep writing."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
During her closing argument, Una's lawyer asks Patel to read from the Starfleet Code. Why? Read it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you asking opposing counsel to essentially testify during your closing argument? It makes no sense. It's wholly improper.
I would object.
No, read it yourself.
Objection. I'm not the one on the trial on
Yep.
on trial.
This is when you properly say object.
Yeah. Objection, Your Honor. I'm not a character witness for the defense.
So Captain Pike
for real reason is.
Yeah, exactly. Captain Pike didn't grant her asylum. He kept his friend's secret. Saying that he granted her asylum was mental gymnastics that the lawyer came up with at the last minute. Had he actually granted her asylum, he would have followed through and convened a tribunal as required by law. It's nonsense. They lied at the end to close up the episode. Everyone knows it's a lie, and the tribunal just went along with it. It makes no sense.
Pike knows it's a lie too, and he's just smiling.
Yeah. So it's similar to the tired Star Trek trope of, I know you disobeyed orders, but it worked out in the end, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the last episode, yeah.
So this is just a poorly written episode. I'm glad the storyline is tied up. I just wish they did a better job of it, because I'm eager to visit some strange new worlds and see some Star Trek.
That would be great.
Yep. Hopefully the next episode. I don't know. What did they give us any kind of a trailer preview of the next episode already?
Dude, I did not. I've been so sick the past few days.
Yeah.
I looked. I tried to find one. I mean, I didn't look that hard. I wasn't going to watch the Will Wheaton show. But
that's where they put it.
So this episode took me twice as long to watch the second time, because I kept having to pause it to, make all these notes to rip it apart today. So I hope I don't have to do that.
I did like the Vulcan on opposing counsel, just sitting there listening, and every once in a while he'd put up his hand on Patel, like, no, just stop.
Yeah.
And then he finally gave up and gave his argument, which was good, I guess. But yeah. He should have been the one doing the whole thing, honestly.
Yeah. I'm sorry you had to witness that outburst.
Exactly.
I like Ethan Peck.
Funny.
I really do. I like him.
He's hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like we all kind of feel the same way about this episode. Like, it was just, hopefully it gets better now.
Yeah.
Well, it has to, because the two major things the major thing that they left hanging from season 1 into season 2 is now taken care of and out of the way. Well, the two major things, really. There's really 3 major things that were left hanging. Who our new engineer was going to be. Thankfully, we know that now and don't like her, and she wasn't in this episode, so that was great. Mm-hmm. What happens to Leon? Okay, she's back now. Okay, cool, that's taken care of. And what happens to Una? All taken care of, wrapped up. We can move on with the rest of the season now.
Yeah.
Thanks for the 3-part cliffhanger. I mean,
yeah,
is what it is.
Well, since I figured we kind of go through this pretty quick, I did want to go over the current Google trends and where we're at with Star Trek. Is the season being well received? Is it popular? What's going on with that? So I figured we could look at the numbers in real time and see where we're at. So right now, let's look at Strange New Worlds as a search term. This is over the past 30 days. So the way Google Trends works is a 0 is it's not being mentioned at all. 100 means that is the peak of popularity in relation to where it's been before. As you can see, just before the premiere on the 16th, it was at the peak. It has fallen down a cliff since then. It's roughly 45% of where it's, the lowest, and slight uptick since the latest episode has been reviewed at 47. So that's where we're at.
But this is just people searching Strange New Worlds.
Just the term coming up.
Okay.
But this gives us an indication of, are people even talking about it?
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right before the show starts, that's people Googling to find out when the show starts, when it's going to be on, when it drops, and okay, now I know it's on Thursday mornings. I don't need to keep Googling it every week to find out it's on Thursday mornings.
Right.
So, I mean, you have to kind of take that peak with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So here's over a year when it was last released last July. About the same level of interest initially. And then it just kind of goes back down because now it's not out anymore.
Yeah.
And then back up to where we were. So now let's see the same thing with Picard, the other new show that's been around. So same thing over a year. As you can see, Picard maintained interest pretty much.
You're cutting in and out because you got this website. But I don't know what it is when you pull up a web page.
I think it's when he moves the mouse.
Yeah, I think it's when I move the mouse.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding. You move the mouse and your audio goes away?
Yeah, apparently.
What kind of tin can you running?
It's a Mac. I don't know, man.
What kind of tin can he, or the kind that goes to the bottom of the ocean?
That's right. That's right.
Implodes.
But you can see Picard was vastly more popular than Strange New Worlds on every possible level.
Season 3 of Picard was a huge hit. It was a huge hit.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. But now I want to see in comparison to other things, right? Just to give us an idea. So right now, Major League Baseball's going, right? MLB?
Yeah.
Okay. So in relation, that's kind of puts it in perspective. So
can you do one right now in real time?
Yeah.
Google Titanic submarine and give us like 30 days. Last 30 days.
Take the MLB off.
Okay.
Just so we can see the comparison between. Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Remove that.
Oh.
There you go. There you go. Far more popular.
Yeah.
So
I think I was halfway through the week when I even heard about that thing because I get all my news from Daniel. So halfway through the week, I didn't even hear anything about it until my kids happened to mention it. They're like, "Did you hear about that?" I'm like, "Hear about what?" They're like, "Oh, there's a submarine that's going down." I'm like, submarine? What? And I'm thinking of like a USS, whatever type. I'm thinking of a major submarine, not some tin can with a bunch of billionaires in it, each paying $250,000 to die. Like, just.
Not the USS cardboard box.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in all honesty, it's sad. Okay, guys died.
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
They were just trying to go and explore and have some fun. But also, like, they signed up for it and knew the risks. Like, you can't go that deep and nobody, I'm sure nobody had the conversation with them of, oh, it's perfectly fine. Just hand me $250,000. We'll be back up in a day. It'll be cool. No worries, no risks. Perfectly safe, no harm. I'm sure that wasn't part of the conversation. I'm sure they had to have a massive amount of insurance.
The CEO of that sub company, where he's just like, safety
I'm
measures
breaking
are
rules.
just a waste of money and time.
I'm breaking rules. I'm going to be remembered. He says, I'm going to be remembered as the guy who broke rules to get stuff done. Yeah, you broke some rules. So
He's going to jail. He's going to jail.
He's dead.
He's dead. He was on the ship.
That's true. That's right. He was on the ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to give him that. He literally went down with the ship.
Down with the ship. Yeah. Like a real captain would.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well,
meanwhile, there's a ship that had like 700 SUVGs that sank, and nobody cared about that. Apparently,
that's horrible.
There was no international outcry to go help them.
Where was that?
I believe somewhere in Europe, if I remember right. But yeah, it happened around the same time. Nobody cared about that. Billionaires in a tube go down. That's what we save.
That's right. It was piloted by an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
No, PlayStation 2.
PlayStation
but
2,
still.
whatever. Yeah.
So Well, should we get the feedback?
Yeah, let's get
Sure.
the feedback. That's enough of that.
All right.
Open hailing frequencies.
Hey! Frequencies open, sir.
Hey.
Hey. Bronson's right. It was in Greece. My bad.
Thank you, Bronson.
It was in Greece. Okay.
So
That got canceled too.
Greece.
Pink Ladies.
That's right.
Yeah.
Darn. I was just about to watch that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna go back and find the. All right, I'm gonna change this because I got a bunch of stuff in there. Here it is. I should have two. Well, that's weird.
What are you mumbling about?
Yeah.
I should have two voicemails here. One from Tim and another one that came in here just a few days ago.
Okay.
I'm trying to pull it up and find it in the email.
All right. Okay.
Give me
They
a
say
second.
they say in radio that dead air is
I know.
the worst thing you could have.
It wasn't
So
that much dead
give
air.
us a sign.
It was a lot.
And,
Here it is. Here it is.
I'll start whistling or something.
Good morning, Trek fans. Hope you're well. It's Timmy here. It's been a while. Down here on the south coast of England, it's a beautiful day here. Windows are down in the van. I'm off to look at a integrated washing machine today where there is no motor action. So I shall be sorting that out in about half an hour. But I wanted to say I really enjoyed your last show with the Star Trek quiz. I giggled and chuckled at 3:59, 911, or as I was going, 91.1, and I really enjoyed it. The way, well, he's not wrong almost for every question. It was funny as hell. So I really enjoyed it. And look, if you need anybody from this side of the Atlantic, then give us a call because I'd love to join in at any point. Obviously, no pressure, but if not, I'll just chuckle at you guys messing about. Great times, enjoyed the show, and Strange New World's coming up soon. And do you know what? I'm not really that excited. It's all right. I like Anson Mount, but
he's not missing anything.
It's that kind of thing. Because I've been rewatching Next Generation and a bit of Voyager and DS9, which is proper Star Trek. Whoa! All right, guys, I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, look, I'm going out 'cause I'm driving with my knees while I got the phone to my ear and my arm out the window, giving myself a trucker's tan.
We do
Much
not
love to
condone
you,
that.
and I'm sure I will speak with you soon at some point. Take care. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
So he's working on his trucker's tan because he's got his arm out the window, and it occurred to me that he's across the pond. So his trucker's tan is the opposite of my trucker's tan.
Yep.
It'll be left arm.
Yeah.
That is correct.
No, it's my left arm. It'll be his right arm.
And we have a pack lid review. Whatever. I don't know why this one came in weird. I'm not sure if this is going to play right. This came in on a wrong email. I don't know. Let's see.
The following is a pack-led review. The views and opinions expressed by Strongbeard do not necessarily represent those of Paramount Plus or the Trekcast podcast. And now, Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 2, The Measure of a Man, Part 2, a pack-led review. Boring court show. Thanks for listening to a pack-led review.
Sounds about right.
I will say the reaction overall online is people did like this episode overall.
Really?
Overall,
yeah.
Okay.
Especially compared to the episode 1.
Well, they're wrong.
Well, I'm just saying overall, people liked it. So
That's funny. Chad telling people they're wrong.
Yes, the irony.
That's just rich.
It must mean they're right. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how that really works.
We've got Elle Woods here joining us too. There he is.
Elwood.
Attorney at law.
Yeah, I'm legally blonde, guys. So
That's right. You shaved.
I'm gonna bring in habeas corpus in here. So it's the only legal term I know.
I object.
Boy.
I object. Yes, this episode. I agree with the Packlet review. It was very, very slow pacing. Needed a B storyline, and I don't think Nurse Chapel said one word.
She doesn't have to. It's fine.
Well,
Yeah,
no, she
just
has
needs
to.
be
I'm good.
If she's going to get paid, she has to speak like so many lines, and they get paid.
Not
They can show
necessarily.
up.
Not if you're a series.
Let me tell you something, man. Nurse Chapel can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
I know she's the hot one. So, but this episode was just the pacing was. Oh man, it was a snail's pace. I had a hard time. I stayed up to 3 a.m. to watch this, and then I was like, at the end, I was like, oh my god, I was fighting.
I should have gone to sleep.
I should have gone to sleep and woke up early in the morning. It's not Star Trek Picard. So next week, I don't know. Am I going to stay up late next week or just
You
wake up
will.
early in the morning?
You will. You will.
For fix, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to see that strange world. So hopefully I'll see something strange. So,
I mean, technically, they did give us a strange new world this week. Pike, Pike had his COVID mask and going to find.
I was
the lawyer.
wondering if that would come up.
well, if you notice when they're sitting at the tables and everything, they're all almost 6 feet apart. They're all spread out really far. Like even when he's talking to his girlfriend in the like 10 forward or wherever it is in the ship, she's like so far away at the table.
I mean, they did shoot this quite a while ago.
Yeah,
it's still a thing. You watch news shows, and the anchors are still sitting, further apart than they did 5 years ago.
yeah, because they used to be on top of each other. So
Yeah, they never went back to normal.
yeah,
The rest of the world has forgotten, but
yeah. You go to a baseball game, football, or whatever, and it's like nothing's changed. So
I was passing a Walgreens the other day, and I looked on the marquee, and it said COVID-19 booster shots, and I was just like, "Is that still a thing?"
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's like nobody talks about it anymore.
yeah. Let's
Yeah, but
gotta
still
get
a
them.
thing.
You know, like
gotta
some
get
people
paid.
get them and some people don't. You know, it's like the flu shot. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
But this episode, slow. I wish in my notes I wrote, "Man, this show's boring," and at the end, God, this is not a movie. And then all the legal jargon is like, well, we know she's gonna win. And what kind of made me mad at the end is, well, not mad, but reading the comments online, people were comparing the show, saying it's better than Measured Than a Man.
Absolutely.
No
not.
way.
And I'm
I
like,
did see that, yeah.
absolutely not. Yeah, I read
No.
several posts saying that, saying this episode is better.
From what I saw, that was very minority opinion, but
Yeah.
I did see quite a bit of it's as good as Measure of Man.
Yes,
or it's the best
compared-
legal
yeah,
we've had
I'm
in Star Trek since Measure
absolutely
of Man.
not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nah.
And
Those must be Discovery fans leaving comments.
I think so. I think
Or bot.
or bot.
Yeah.
A bot with pink hair. So,
How do you feel about Prodigy going away?
well, I'm sad, but I can see it.
Yeah.
I think really what I think Paramount should do is do like old Star Trek did, is syndicate the shows and maybe shop them around.
I mean, that's what they're going to do with Prodigy.
Yeah,
Shopping around.
because this streaming model, there's too many streaming services. Everybody has a subscription to something. Even YouTube channels have like a subscription, like you know,
Yeah, they have.
add a Patreon and all this other stuff, and everything adds up. And we're, the economy is not the greatest right now, and when inflation hits, people start cutting things, and they start cutting streaming services. So, and it's understandable.
Pare it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking about cutting Netflix right now because it's like, well, Star Trek's not on there, so
Yeah.
what
What's
do
on
I watch?
Netflix? Yeah. I mean, you watch Disney, so we've got
you got Star Wars,
Secret Invasion starting there, and everything else. There's a lot of stuff going on Disney. So
when does that start?
It just did.
It just
did.
Yeah.
When was the first episode?
Like yesterday.
Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go watch that.
There's actually a lot of stuff on Apple TV right now too, which I'm watching. Like almost every new thing they put out, I watch, and it's interesting. It's fun. Like Silo, right? That's on right now with Rebecca Ferguson is great.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic.
I've been watching The Bear season 2.
Oh, how's that?
It's good.
Is it better than the first or comparable?
It's different. It's very different. Not in a bad way. It's just completely different.
Are they still arguing with each other and yelling?
Yeah. Still all that stuff, but it's just different arguments.
Okay,
Don't even know what the show is. Don't even know what that show is.
It's pretty cool. It's about a
That's the prequel to Cocaine Bear, right?
Yeah, that's right. This is how he gets the cocaine. Scarface Bear.
Where the cocaine's introduced.
That's right. This is how he learns
about it. So
yeah. And then season 3 will be Marijuana Bear because that's the gateway.
Yeah. That's right. There'll be a zombie in San Francisco. So
awesome. All right. Well, we still got Hipster Spock waiting in the wings, so we should.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully next week this show picks up. Thanks, guys, for letting me on here. I'm hoping that.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
The next few episodes, let's be hopeful.
Oh,
the season's not over, Don't back the truck up. It's still going.
That's right.
And then, we got 8 more episodes. So
yeah, no, I'm still excited for the show.
Yeah,
I just
8 more episodes. Let's do it. Thanks a lot.
See you later, Elwoods.
All right, see ya.
All right, thank you.
All right, so we got Hipster Spock. Let's bring him on.
Pavel himself. Let's go, Hipster.
Before he gets going, though, Hipster Spock, I'm going to issue you a challenge. Can you not mention woke at all in this?
Well, I can actually.
That's what I thought. All right, good enough. I'll see you later. No, I'm kidding.
I have two things to bring up. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing, it's nothing to do with this episode. Just something I've been thinking for a very long time, and kind of thinking, okay, for the rest of the Alpha and Beta Quadrant right now, Earth is basically the backwaters, right? Like some third world country that nobody's ever heard of, basically like these Amazonian tribe right now, right? And then, but how the hell did humans end up running the show with it after like 100-something years of first contact?
That's just how good Archer was.
Yeah, we're awesome. We're humans.
I mean,
didn't they answer that in Enterprise?
Humans
were
are
like
the ultimate diplomats.
to get
That's what we
everyone to
learned.
work together. Like
That's what we learned during Enterprise. Yep.
Yeah, we got the the Vulcans and the Andorians and the Tellarites to all work together, and that's why we kind of became leaders.
The Federation has always been. I mean, even Gene Roddenberry said this back in the day. The Federation is the United States. The Klingons are the Soviet Union, and the Romulans are the Chinese, or whatever.
Yeah, that analogy.
So if you look at that analogy, I mean, the United States is a young nation in the history of the world, and they are essentially the leaders of the free world. So I guess it kind of goes with that.
Mm-hmm.
After World War III, humans got their stuff together. Yeah, that's
basically
true. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I just,
I
I
hope that there's no World War III and humans can just get their shit together. Like, sorry, did I curse?
That's okay.
Okay,
because I'm gonna curse.
I'm
gonna curse in response to that. You could shit in one hand and wish in the other, and guess which one is gonna fill up first?
That's true. And second thing, okay, that's a pretty valid issue, like, or argument, like the humans basically got everybody together, and since they were the ones who connected everybody, they said, okay, yeah, we're just gonna be in charge from now on, right?
Well, because we were the only ones people would listen to, that everyone would listen.
Okay,
because we didn't have the history.
Right.
And I don't think they're in charge per se. I mean, the Starfleet headquarters is on Earth, is in San Francisco, but we've seen over the years, the Federation president, and it's not always a human being. It's some alien that we don't even know who it is.
Right.
Like DS9, there was some other some alien dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
In Star Trek 6, it was Kurtwood Smith as and
keep calling
and he
everybody
was,
dumbass.
Yeah. With the great hair, facial hair, the white.
And then he killed
goatee
RoboCop.
thing,
Yep.
Okay. My second thing is that, okay, I know that Paramount's not making a lot of money these days because streaming not being so good and all that stuff, and they have to save a lot of money. But then, couldn't they just expand to, a lot of other markets? Like, why don't they make a push in Asia, for example?
So I know the answer to this.
Go ahead.
is because a lot of their catalog has been distributed out to like Amazon or Disney Plus or whatever in those foreign markets, and so they can't use their own materials because they're under deals to not distribute them in those markets.
Yeah.
So they have to wait until those deals run out and have enough of a catalog to then go to those markets and have it. That's why.
That, and depending on how those deals are written, I mean, they may have automatic extension clauses where they have first right of refusal. It's similar to Marvel made this deal with Sony 25 years ago. And as long as Sony pumps out a Spider-Man movie every, I think it's like 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
They get to keep those rights. And basically what that means is, unless Disney makes a new deal with Sony buying out that contract, they will never, ever, ever, ever have Spider-Man all to themselves ever again.
And then each country has like weird rules too. Like I know they were talking about this in France. You can't put a movie that was just recently in theaters onto your streaming service. Like in France, it has to be like a year and a half since it was in theaters before you can put it on your streaming service.
So that's France trying to protect the theater business.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's all local laws and different things. It's not just as easy as flipping on the switch and let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But then I'm thinking like, okay, if we really want to like preach this Gene Roddenberry like philosophy and whatnot to the rest of the world, so we get a situation that's very similar to what is actually happening in Star Trek, then it would be good to like get everybody else in the world to like sort of sign on to this stuff. But I guess entertainment is a money-making thing, right?
I mean, that's why it's show business, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's what made Discovery profitable, is they were selling it to Amazon and Netflix. And so, yeah, you may not have had the numbers. We don't know because they don't release streaming numbers. That's one of the things the writer's strike is fighting about right now, is they want numbers. They want to know how successful their shows are or not. So, which would be interesting.
Yeah, as much as I think, okay, yeah, the studios could just do everything on GPT, but then I can see it from the writer's point of view, where the writers really can really connect with the audience in a human way, basically. And so you always need some human writer to come up with things, but then you can always do some quality check on GPT or whatever. And so, yeah, I can see it from the writer's point of view. And they after seeing all that stuff, I can recognize that they they do get screwed on some of the things that the streaming does. Like, okay, if something gets streamed some X amount of times across X amount of screens, shouldn't the writers get a cut of that as well, or whatever, right?
So ChatGPT is not good enough to create new things. It's like you ask it, draw me a picture of a horse, and what it'll do is make a collage and not draw the picture. It can't create. It has to use what has already been made to then create predictive algorithms to then approximate something.
Have you ever used ChatGPT? It doesn't draw pictures.
No, but I'm giving it a metaphor for how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. So for it to, like, if you type into it, give me a Star Trek episode, it'll give you an approximation because it has a history of Star Trek episodes to go. But if you went to it and said, create me a new series, it might, because there's histories, but it's not going to be well thought out. It's not going to be, as well put together as actual people going through it.
And the more you use this, the pool that it pulls from is going to be more AI created.
I'm going to log into my version of ChatGPT right now, and we're going to come up with a script, because the way you're wording this, Daniel, is incorrect. So
it's twice Chad's telling people they're wrong.
I know.
All right. It's just the way it is. Okay. So ChatGPT, when it first came out in December, was pulling from a block of data from about 3-year period of anything it could grab, anything it could get a hold of off of the internet. It wasn't at that point able to pull anything live from the internet. As of like 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, it's all of that. So it's everything for the past 3 years that they could scrape and put together to build these AI tools, as well as it's pulling live from the internet now as well. So it's totally different than what you just described. Bard is horrible, by the way. So let's do this. Can you write an outline of a script for a Star Trek episode containing, and this is just me typing it up, containing Spock and Captain Kirk. All right, we're just going to, okay, Spock and Captain Kirk. Main plot line is that the captain is stuck on a planet, right? On a planet.
But already your framing is wrong, because what characters are you going to create? Because you're already using existing characters that somebody else created, not ChatGPT.
Yeah, I'm just giving names. So let's change it then. How about that? So containing a doctor. What that? That's all. Give a name. Containing a doctor. This is my point, though, Daniel. This is what you're missing. Containing a doctor and Captain Lan Dombardo. Okay.
And Vincent LaGuardia Gambini.
There you go. Act 1, opening. The starship USS Orion under the command of Lan Dombardo receives a distress signal from the unknown planet in the Delta Quadrant. 2, the crew investigates and discovers a mysterious energy anomaly surrounding the planet, making it impossible to beam anyone off or communicate with the ship. 3, Captain Dombardo decides to lead an away team, including the ship's doctor, to investigate the situation on the planet's surface. 4, as they transport down, the energy anomaly destabilizes, trapping Captain Dombardo and the away team on the planet. That's Act 1. Act 2, Captain Dombardo and the doctor find themselves stranded in an unfamiliar and desolate landscape, cut off from the crew and the ship. 1, they realize that the energy anomaly was initially designed to trap them on the planet, raising questions about the planet's origins and its purpose. 2, while searching for a way to escape, they encourage indigenous alien life forms, peaceful beings who are also trapped on the planet. They encounter, and then 3, the doctor, and with her medical expertise, attempts to communicate and establish a mutual understanding with the alien beings. Act 3, this goes on. Act 4, Act 5.
Right, but
I want to watch this episode now.
Yeah, exactly. And
I need to know if I get off this planet.
Exactly. The point here is this is an excellent outline. This is an excellent framing tool to then be able to use it and create more in depth whatever you want to use, right? It's
Is
a
it
tool.
though? Because you as a human being had to name the character. It's pulling from other scripts to create an outline and a story structure.
Does it sound
like,
better than the episode we just watched already?
But what I'm saying is it's not an independent. You can just use ChatGPT and create shows.
It's not a script. It's not a script.
It's an outline. I just said it's an outline.
It's an outline. And
I know.
And here's the thing: the outline for the show that we just watched says courtroom drama to decide whether Una remains in Starfleet or goes to jail, and some person has to put in all of the dialogue and all of the legal jargon, and maybe they'll do a good job and maybe they won't. And I'll have 3 pages of notes on it. So you can't just it can't write a whole script.
That's what I'm saying.
No, and I'm not arguing that it can write the entire thing for you. I'm telling you that it could write you an entire outline, though. And when you say, well, it has to pull from existing stuff, what is it pulling from? What is it pulling from? It's pulling from the existing Star Trek Bible, what we know about Star Trek. I guess my point here is if somebody would have done that right there, what I just did, for every episode of Discovery, maybe 2/3 of those episodes wouldn't have sucked.
I mean, maybe, but we don't know.
No,
and
it's just a tool, guys. It's just a tool.
Okay. Well, you're making it sound like let's replace the writers with this thing.
So no. I think the writers need to use it. The writers need to use this. This is a tool the writers should use because, like just instance, that one episode that it just spit out, that outline would have been infinitely better than the episode we just watched. That's the point I'm getting at.
Okay. All right.
Said the
Scott
Joker's
says hello.
voice when he visits Harvey Dent in the hospital. Dark Knight. Hi.
All right.
So I don't think the writers are going to use this.
No. Probably not.
And if they do use it, I don't think they're going to admit.
Do you think one of the 50 producers on this show will?
Oh yeah,
probably.
Oh yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Hipster Scott, what do you think about Prodigy going away?
I never really watched it. Maybe like 15 minutes of it maximum, and so I'm not that bothered about it. But I mean, I guess I think Dan, you said your kid were watching it, right? And
I tried.
No, they
never
wanted to
go. My son lost interest.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a listener who was into it.
So
his daughter watched it.
So I mean, if you want to really get honest feedback about would they miss it, you might ask them because they would give you a more useful reaction to that. But yeah,
I'm curious how this is going to impact their whole Starfleet Academy show, because that's
might
reach a younger audience.
It might.
It might.
I mean, yeah, because they have a budget problem right now, and they got to choose their projects carefully, and they want to choose the projects that's going to have the most chances of succeeding. And from a personal point of view or opinion, the premises of Starfleet Academy isn't really that interesting, and it might turn some people off, which they're trying to Disney-fy the thing, and that I think they should go with Legacy, because Legacy has way more of a demand at this point than Starfleet Academy. So go with Legacy, and Legacy is the winner right now.
So how long do you think it'll be before Starfleet Academy puts the cadets on a ship and sends them out in space? And essentially it just becomes another Star Trek show?
Here's the Google Trends difference between Star Trek Legacy and Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Legacy is in the red, which is the complete flat line, just about.
Yeah.
And Legacy is just all over the map, just excited.
Academy's the red and Legacy's the blue, right?
Yeah. Legacy was the red, or was
Legacy
the blue.
was the blue.
Yeah.
Jonathan
Okay.
Martinez says, "Can we get GPT to outline a Trekcast episode showing how Chad told people they were wrong?"
Yes. All right. Anything else you want to bring up, Hipster Spock?
Well, thank you for kind of humoring me about my intellectual curiosities.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Always fun having you on.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thanks, and keep up the good work. And hopefully, episode 3 is going to be like really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Could it get worse?
Oh, it can always
knock
get
on
worse.
wood. Knock on wood.
Could always get worse.
Yeah, Garrick
Knock on
said it can
Scott's
always
wood.
get worse. Yeah. Anything else?
Michael Burnham crossover.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I'm good, I think.
All right.
I'm good. Oh, and by the way, we because Dan loves these little mentions here. We jumped up in ranking to number 39 in Germany over the last week.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So I don't know if maybe the Trekcast.de had some episode they released and nobody could find it and they came to ours. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
That happens.
It happens.
So, but no, all good. Oh, we did have I think we didn't get it last week either. Eric Woods bought us a coffee on the coffee account.
Oh,
too. So
cool.
thank you, Eric.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks, Eric.
That was our latest donation.
Yeah.
We've got to find out if he's coming to Vegas. I know he had asked who was definitely going because he was considering it. So
Yeah.
let us know, Eric. Let us know.
Should be fun. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My
Looking forward
buddy in
to it.
Vegas is now telling me of all these places we need to go visit. So
Yeah,
Nice.
like what?
we found a gaming bar that's pretty cool. That's got like a flat
Nice.
cover and you nonstop gaming. There's all sorts of different like restaurants that are local restaurants that he knows
Yep.
about.
Okay.
Apparently, there is also local discounts. So
Yeah, we got to go to that place that David goes for his fish. The basically fish and chips.
oh, okay.
David Ivy goes to. It's just south on the south side of the airport. It's good. It's really good. You guys will enjoy
Okay.
it. It's a dive bar
Cool.
kind of type atmosphere, but it's fun.
Cool.
All right.
So
Awesome.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, thanks
We'll take it
everybody
off.
for watching.
yeah, we'll see you guys. Thanks.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.